Cricbuzz Chatter, Adam Collins and Mike Hussey, end of day 2 here at Adelaide. It's all happening. An electrical storm brought an end to proceedings prematurely by about 40 minutes. But boy, what a day's test cricket. 473 for 9 declared Australia. A century for Labuschagne, nearly one for Smith. And then Joe Richardson and Neser into the team, straight into the book. A brilliant mini session, which could have been a lot worse for England.
Yeah, I think England would be pretty relieved that there was a bit of lightning around, a little bit of rain, 2 early wickets, still 40 minutes to go. I think they'll be very happy to be off a little bit early. Perfect day for Australia, really. Piled on a big score. They kept England out on their legs for a long, long period of time. I think over 150 overs. They'll be tired and then had to come out and face the new ball under lights. It's not easy. So Australia tactically were very, very good and are in a very strong position.
Australia's bowling. I mean, we talk about the depth of Australia's fast bowling department, the seam department. The fact that Michael Neser can come off the bench, he's been in this squad for 26 consecutive test matches, yet to get a baggy green, gets his baggy green, second ball gets in the book. I mean, it's an absolute fairy tale.
Oh, it certainly is. He's a very experienced cricketer, you know, and he's played a lot of first-class cricket. He's got a fantastic record. He's been waiting and waiting and waiting for his opportunity to come, and he's just a great competitor as well. You know what you're going to get. You're going to get a good, consistent performer that's just going to give you 100% every single ball that he bowls. He will not take this opportunity for granted because he's had to wait for so long. And, yeah, great reward for him. What about the reaction from his teammates? You know, when he got that first wicket, they were so happy for him.
I think Usman Khawaja was the first bloke out there. He's the 12th man, and he sprinted up like he just was running the 100 metres at the Olympic Games. He's not known for his sprinting, Khawaja, but that's a bit about the love they have, isn't it? I mean, that Queensland dressing room when Neser has been an integral member of. And as well, Joe Richardson, 2 years out of the team, a shoulder operation. Of course, he's been fabulous at Western Australia, and of course, getting some opportunities overseas as well. The way he started, I mean, he didn't take a wicket, but fabulous.
Well, they just complemented each other well. I think Richardson built the pressure early, and that enabled Starc to keep attacking from the other end, pick up that early wicket to Burns, and the Australians were just cock a hoop. You know, the adrenaline was pumping. They were really up and about and had England under enormous pressure. We knew that bowling with that pink ball under lights is the most difficult time to bat. England had to come out on tired legs and try and face that attack when they were really fired up. It was always going to be very difficult, but you know, unfortunately for the openers, they just couldn't get through.
Joe Root walking in at 2 for 12. I mean, the contrast. Stephen Smith walking in behind Labuschagne and Warner, who average 120 together when batting in Australia. And then Joe Root again, I mean, he nearly was out second ball to Neser as well. That fell just short of Stephen Smith at second slip. But fundamentally, the pressure heaped on that guy's shoulders, not only as the fielding captain after 2 days in the dirt, but then walking out at the end, effectively saved by a lightning storm. I mean, it's such a high degree of difficulty for him.
It's tough, you know, and I'm sure there's a lot going through his mind. Not much has been going right for him or the English team so far on the tour. So, you know, he's going to have to rest up. He's going to have to come in with a real clear frame of mind tomorrow. He's a great competitor as well, a great fighter. I love the way he ran out to the crease today. You know, like, yes, his team's under enormous pressure, but he didn't shy away from the challenge, you know, and that's the sort of guy that he is. It comes across as he wants the challenge, and he wants to prove to himself and the world that, you know, he's up for it and he wants to win the battle. So I love his attitude, and he's going to have to work really, really hard tomorrow.
A pretty big bruise was forming on England through the course of the first session today. Even though they did fight back nicely with 3 wickets, I mean, there was some consternation early on with another wicket overturned from a front foot no ball. But the middle session, it was all about Stephen Smith and Alex Carey. Alex Carey, for his part, a half century, second test match, home ground. Not a million miles away from you, came to the test team and everyone's like, oh, it feels like he's been here forever. Much the same with Carey.
Yeah, I thought he batted really well. Before that, you've got to give England some credit.
Yeah.
I thought they stuck at it well. It was over 38 degrees today.
Yeah.
They bowled well. They adjusted their lengths, tried to bowl a little bit fuller, started getting the rewards for that. But yeah, Alex Carey came in, as you mentioned. He was just positive and confident and wanted to move the game forward. And I think it's exactly what Australia needed at that stage. They wanted to score a few more runs, but also bat that time where then they could expose England under lights. And the way they played it was just perfect. It took the pressure off Steve Smith in a lot of ways. Steve Smith could just go about his game, doing what Steve Smith does, and have the free scoring of Carey at the other end. First 50, I thought he looked great.
Yeah, England did take 3 wickets in the first session, including an absolute beauty from Stokes to knock over Cameron Green, who invariably will come under some pressure because that's the way it works. If you're not making runs, people will start chatting. That's just the way Test cricket is. In terms of the way England tried to stick at it, let's look at their bowling. I mean, Anderson took 2 wickets and got himself there at the end. But Anderson Broad-Wokes was effectively the attack they brought to this ground 4 years ago. So much was made of England bringing raw pace to Australia. They are missing it desperately this series already. I mean, no Mark Wood this week too.
Yeah, there's a sameness about the look of the England attack. They're all right arm. They're all, a similar sort of pace. They're all quality bowlers,
Sure.
Don't get me wrong, but there's not a lot of variety there. And so to have someone like a Mark Wood who does have that extra pace would have been handy. To have that specialist spinner would have been handy, just for a bit of variety in the attack. They didn't have that. They all tried hard. They all bowled pretty well. But yeah, unfortunately for them, Australia, they fought hard and they put a very, very good first innings total on the board.
All right, with the score at 17 for 2 overnight, let's go into the hotspot. In the hotspot, a case of missed opportunities for England. By my count, I think we're at 8 drop catches in the series, 2 no ball overturned. But yeah, it's depth. Yeah, it's players missing. Sure, it's been selection table, but the fundamentals, Mike Hussey.
Yeah, in Test match cricket, you've got to do the basics well, and more so when you're playing away from home in conditions that you're not that used to, against an opposition crowd, opposition team that are a very good team. You need to do everything right. You need to do those basics right. And so there's no excuse. The bowler's got to get their foot behind the line. No one's meaning to drop catches, but if it's a chance that has to be taken, you've got to take those chances. And it's really cost England because it's enabled the likes of Marnus Labuschagne to bat a lot more time, which keeps the bowlers having to come back spell after spell after spell. It tires them out. It takes shine off the new ball. It enables guys like Alex Carey, Travis Head to be able to come in and play with so much more freedom. So, yes, they're not trying to make mistakes, but at this level, you've got to be doing those basics much better.
And kind of devastating for Root, the captain too, isn't it? You captained a lot of teams through your illustrious career. When things aren't going right, it can weigh so heavily on the shoulders of the leader.
Without doubt, there must be so much going through his mind. If only we'd taken that catch, if only he kept his foot behind the line, if only we won the toss and batted first. Or there's so many if onlys, and it gets you into a negative frame of mind, and it starts wearing you down after a while. Even your team, they start going back and feeling like to the hotel and feeling like the world's against them. And it's hard to keep getting up and keep being positive and keep coming back with that positive attitude. Somehow they've got to find a way tomorrow to try and stay alive in this series.
All right, let's hit fast forward. Quite big raindrops falling down on us here at Adelaide, so the conditions tomorrow will invariably be cooler. Perfect for Australia to turn the screws.
Yeah. No, I think it's perfect scenario for Australia. They'll be looking to come out. They'll be fresh. The fast bowlers will be looking to get as much movement as they can early. England, it's going to be tough. They're going to be tired. They've been out in the field for over 150 overs. They've got to somehow find a way to build a partnership. A positive for them, Malan and Root. They built a magnificent partnership up at the Gabba. Can they do it again? They have to for England. So it's going to be a fascinating first session. Can't wait for it.
And Milan started well. We're about to get drenched. We better wrap it up. Follow it all tomorrow on Cricbuzz. And in it stumps Mike Hussey and me, Adam Collins, on Cricbuzz Chatter. Bye for now.